For me, it's a very close match because for me, Mukait and Kepa are in the top 10 in Europe, have a very good level, Jolie too, and we train a lot to be really ready against them, and we hope to qualify.
Monaco is a really strong team, of course. They have two world champions, Ousmane Kabil and Guifera, and a young talent, Nexa. But we practiced a lot. We know if we play our game, we can beat anyone. So I believe it's going to be a tough matchup for both teams. We will give our everything on the pitch, and we will try our best to qualify for semi-finals.
Well, this one really is very nicely poised indeed. It should be a very entertaining clash between these two sides. Of course, we had some of the thoughts of the players there. Let's see who's going to be involved then in game one for match 2 of the day. Of course, this is the second quarterfinals between Monaco and Galatasaray. And it looks as though it's going to be Nexa up first against Mujahid. Nexa, of course, as we heard there, he's very much the danger man for Monaco in front of goal. He's joint second top scorer, at least he was going into today, with 9 goals to his name and undefeated as well. And the interesting thing is that Mujahid, the captain of the Turkish side, he's also undefeated. And that means that potentially we have some really feisty battle coming up here between these two sides. And guys, the fact that they repeated this pattern from the first game, it does seem that it might be something we see time and time again with the strongest players coming out first, perhaps.
I think so. I think that's going to be one of the key talking points as we move throughout the day, is who's going to be out first? Who is going to be that player that steps up, almost similar to real-world penalty kicks? Who fancies it first? And right now it's the captain versus Nexa. It's Mujahid stepping up for Galatasaray. But as Semra said, there's an American sports analogy that I think people like to use. Someone's O needs to go here. So one of these players is going to leave this with a defeat to his name for the first time, Wes. This one is beautifully set up. Nexa versus Mujahid. It's a clash of titans.
Yeah, it's the irresistible force versus the immovable object. It is Nexa versus Mujahid. And again, it is set up to be, again, almost like a Hollywood type of showdown that we're going to see here. And we saw at length about how Ousmane Kabil, wanted to bring Nexa into post-match interviews to say, look, this guy's the real deal. This guy is the future, and that's the confidence that this Monaco side have in him. A lot of people, if you are a lay person at home, you've never watched the game of eFootball before, you might look at Nexa and go, well, who is this guy? Whereas actually, for those who are, for those who are slightly more well versed in it, you'll know about Nexa. You'll know how good he is. And the same can be said for Mujahid as well. We can talk about his kind of performances as a captain leading the line for Galatasaray. You can also talk about how good he's been on national duty for Turkey. So, there are levels and there are stories behind these players. They're not just picked out of obscurity. It's like, oh, you'll do off the street. It's these guys are at the top of their games, and it's no more summed up in what we're going to see here. A quarterfinal showdown of epic proportions.
Well, thank you to Semra in the studio. As you can see, players are making their final preparations before we kick off quarterfinal number 2. Yes, as you said, Wes, Nexa may not be a household name just yet, but this far this season, he has helped Monaco greatly get to this stage, contributing wins and points left and right, goals galore. But this is very much a case of him with his first taste of knockout football in this competition as we kick off game 1, going up against a very sturdy defensive force in Mujahid from Galatasaray, who are attacking from left to right. And Wes, Nexa, this is going to be a whole new kettle of fish for him.
Yeah, it's a whole different experience. As we made remarks during the Barcelona and Bayern Munich game. We talk about the change in in we talk about the change in the format. We talk about the fact that it's now knockout football. This is a brand new experience for Nexa. It's now knockout football. It's now kind of a big kind of stage, or it's the biggest stage he'll have played on so far. But, you know, ultimately, Mujahid has had these environments that he's played in before. So will that experience lend itself to be profitable for him?
Well, the first chance of the game will go to Mujahid, and you can see from his head tilt backwards that he thought this one could have been a real opportunity to take the lead, and it could. Bafatimi Gomis is going to be a player that we see often. And the first real chance of quarter-final number 2 goes the way of Galatasaray.
Yeah, and again, you could see through the kind of the play that we saw, you could see the dummy that just opening up the space. It seems to be a go-to move for a lot of these pro players, is to just open up the angles and open up the space.
Galatasaray in possession. Nexa, though, stepping up well. It's something he's going to have to do a lot this game. Long ball looking for Boadu. It'll be a throw-in now to Nexa. Domi's left and right advances closer to the goal, and the header at the near post. Seemingly the entire defence caught napping. Advantage to Monaco. The youngster coming through to score the first goal of quarter-final number 2.
Yeah, there's a reason why we see a lot of gameplay from Nexa that leaves us a little bit kind of open and thinking, oh, he can't do from there, surely not. It was dummies, it was cutbacks, it was getting the ball across into the right place. I believe it was Kevin Volland that was on the end of this, but he's working the space and finding that opportunity. Ball floated into the air, near post, goalkeeper Muslera just going off to his right. Nexa, again, taking the plaudits from his teammates, and it's a great work of a goal from him, and it's advantage very early on to Monaco.
15 minutes into the game, and the man looking to make a name for himself this season has started quarter-final number 2 about as perfectly as you could. And now the question is, what does Mujahid have in reply? Of course, the Turkish fans, so passionate. Always enjoyed commentating their games, and in both international tournaments and also Galatasaray here in this competition. The fans will have to get behind their player here, as Nexa is looking to make a charge towards goal. That one, though, cleared away. Monaco, though, still coming forward, almost carving open the defence. You can see there, Nexa playing all the way back to the goalkeeper. Maybe trying to frustrate his opposition here, just to show that, hey, yeah, I may be inexperienced in competition, but I know how to close these games out. We're still in the first half, of course, so it might be a little too early to employ that kind of tactic, but winning the ball back here. That far side, Volland inside to Golovin. Skips past his man as well. Defensive duty much needed for Mujahid, but Muslera is able to gather, and with 10 minutes to go till the half, Nexa with the better of the chances here so far.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to continue to build. I mean, going back to the goalkeeper, yeah, is an early tactic, but it might be just as a warning sign to Mujahid, just to say, look, I am very happy to employ this type of tactic. You've just got to, you know, you've got to come and get us, which is true when it's a case of. It's true when it's a case of the game being the way that it is at the moment. Is that you've just got to keep yourself going.
Galatasaray now with a chance to come forward. So Kaldu. There were a couple of players making a run there, but half-time is approaching. Boy, would Nexa like to take a 2-0 lead into the interval. Of course, no aggregate score, no points on the line. It's just a best-of-3 games. That one blasted behind his own goal for a corner here to Monaco. Oh, like a London bus. As one corner comes in, another one is on the way. Enrique was arriving, and Monaco still towards the end of this first half chasing yet another goal, but now Galatasaray, what can they do off this break? The referee, as Monaco regain possession of the ball, says enough is enough, and we enter the interval. Galatasaray 0, Monaco 1, Wes. There's work to be done here for Galatasaray in game 1.
Yeah, certainly. I think if you're Mujahid, you're going to have to tap into that Euro experience. You're going to have to tap into that kind of well of knowledge of how do you get yourself back into this game. I think looking at the way that both squads are set up, it's almost mirroring each other, maybe with positions maybe looking in different places, but it's looking as though it's a very cagey affair. It's one, there's been 2 shots all game, one of which was a goal. So it's that tight at the moment. But these are the kind of the points and the kind of margins that these guys are working with. It's a case of if it's a shot and it's a goal, that's what you hone in on. You don't hone in on, oh well, I've had 6 shots and 4 have been on target. At this point in time, you're just looking for how many goals you score. That's realistically where you're at. Especially in knockout football, especially in best-of-3 football, you just want to get yourself across the line, no matter which way it comes.
Of course, both these clubs, Galatasaray and AS Monaco, with club packs in the game. Didn't quite get a look to see if there were any of those featured players in either team's lineups, but no doubt that will be one to keep an eye on. Those eagle-eyed fans, of course, at home, Wes, have a chance to use them in the upcoming eFootball Championship Open starting on Monday.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple on Galatasaray's side of the board, in the sense of, I think it was Marcao. And I think on the Monaco side, I think it was Wissam Ben Yedder. So, again, we'll have to see whether these guys can make those work.
Oh, well, a couple of chances go in there for AS Monaco. None of them going into the goal. Of course, if you are joining us from home, not only will you be keeping an eye on the eFootball Championship Open, you'll also be keeping an eye on this game. And we, of course, apologise about the poor quality of the image so far. We'll do our best to keep you informed at home as to what's happening. For now, though, Galatasaray trying to chase that equaliser. Gomes goes down in the box. That's a sign of life there from Mujahid, Wes. He needs more passages of play such as those, just to remind Nexa that, hey, I've been around the block a couple of times myself. I know how to get myself back into these types of situations.
Well, it's for Galatasaray. It's all about getting Bafétimbi Gomis into this game. We saw how much of a lightning rod he was for the positive performances we've seen from Galatasaray so far over this competition.
And they're coming forward here with Gomis, and well, he's gone down in the area. The referee had a good look at it on the hour mark, but fairly unmoved. Mujahid is growing and growing. Gomis is tackled well by Maripan and Nexa. Well, the scare is over for now. Long ball looking for the man on the right-hand side. Is gathered well by Nexa. You have to wonder what is going through these players' minds. Knockout stages, quarterfinals, it's best of 3. You have to win your game. There is no way to hide behind a draw or try and grind out a result some other way, Wes. You have to win your game.
Yeah, and that's the key here. You have to go out and you have to win. There isn't there is no middle ground. It is win or lose. There is no, oh, we'll take a draw and we can maybe try and pick up points elsewhere. There's no more points. It's all knockout football. It's all best of 3. And in this environment, when you are the first person out in the best of 3 format, you're there to set the tone. You are there to set the tone for your team. So, for example, if you're Nexa, your role here is get the first win and then allow potentially one very experienced player or 2 very experienced players to try and do their best to drag the rest of the team through. If you Mujahid, you're there trying to give confidence to your 2 players in the form of Kepa and Dijol. You have to give that confidence by going, look, I've gone and won. You can go and win. You can go and beat these guys. And we've seen Galatasaray upset the apple cart already during this tournament in the sense of getting performances and getting results that nobody anticipated. It's now a case they've got to go back to the well and they've got to try and do it again.
Well, the goalkeeper came and did not get anything decisive on it. 20 minutes to go until full time. If it stays this way, it would be advantage Monaco, as Nexa is in the lead. Again, if you are watching us from home, we apologise about the picture quality. This is, of course, a feed that the players are sending us, so potentially some connectivity issues there. We'll hopefully get a more stable one for games incoming, but for now, the attention is all on Nexa, and if he can hang on to this 1-goal lead or potentially punch in a second, Wadu, he is dispossessed and looking good for Monaco in the first half, but ever since Mujahid has realised he needs to chase a result here, not a whole lot going the way of Monaco. Could that change here as the goal scorer Volland tries to lay one off, and Diop advancing towards the goal is dispossessed. Yellow card there for Sicaldo of Galatasaray, and a bit of a let-off, I feel, maybe for Monaco, as they have possession now.
Yeah, and we talk about messages being sent by players. If Nexa can close this out, imagine the confidence, not that they potentially need it from Monaco, but imagine the confidence this is going to give to, his teammates. Not that they necessarily need it for the accolades that they have, but to have your young gun go out and potentially pick up a victory.
Oh, and Boadu has found the back of the net. It was a shallow clearance from Galatasaray. It was one that needed going anywhere else. But Nexa doubles his advantage. And with so little time left, you'd have to say Monaco are cruising towards a Game 1 win.
Yeah, and we just seen it there, just through the replay there. We saw just a little double touch, which we could see that came through from Nexa. Again, at this point in time, it's how critical that goal could be. I mean, if you can close it out as what, 10 in-game minutes, give or take, you have the ability now. You certainly have the goal advantage. Now it's time to just close it out if you're Nexa.
This is the time and situation to rely on the 5 world titles you have from your teammates. Of course, 3 from Usmakabil and 2 from Guifera across both co-op and 1 versus 1. Good experience behind them for Mujahid at this point. As we said, no hiding places, no point playing to try and keep goal difference down. There's no aggregate score. You need goals. And, well, another Galatasaray player has gone down in the box. It's not been cleared yet by Monaco, but the last touch coming off a Galatasaray man. And that will be a bit of a let-off once more for Nexa, but looking comfortable here, 2-0.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you can just keep it away from your goal long enough, and if you can keep clearing the ball away long enough, it will certainly help.
Approaching the final 5 in-game minutes, and expect to see a lot more of this from Nexa. 2-goal cushion to his name. Mujahid needs to come forward here, and Babel has gone to ground. Didn't quite see what happened there, but a bit of a wry smile from the Turkish captain. And Nexa, he wants to make it 3 here. He's coming forward once more. Ben Yedder to Bouadou. Cut out in the nick of time. We're into stoppage time now. You'd have to imagine a goal now would not be enough here for Galatasaray. They're going to go for it anyway with Van Aanholt. It's deflected out for a corner. And with so little time left, Wes, you feel that this game 1 is definitely now going to Monaco.
Yeah, I think we're in, we got 2 minutes added time and we're in the 2 minutes. So I think unless there was some type of miracle, I think we end up seeing that Monaco come out of this with game 1 in the books. And again, like we said, sends out a massive statement to his teammates. It's not necessarily even to the rest of the competition. It's more so to his teammates to go, look, you can depend on me here. Like, we can do this. And I think that's sometimes what you need from teammates. You need that, as we heard from Bayern Munich, you need that belief system.
Well, no goal to be found in the end from Galatasaray's late pressure. AS Monaco will win game 1, 2-0. A great performance from Nexa, and as you said, Wes, proving to his 2 experienced teammates that he is a man that can be trusted when the going gets tough. He has put them in pole position in quarter-final number 2 for Mujahid. That may well be, Semra, the last we see of him this season, as Galatasaray, they are, well, looking at a bit of an uphill struggle here.
That they certainly are, but I think we do have to highlight what an impressive performance it's been from Nexa, not just in this game, but throughout the entire season. The young player is really looking to put his stamp of authority, not just in his team with Monaco, but in this entire competition. He really is making quite a name for himself. That's 11 goals now. He's the outright 2nd top scorer. And obviously with Barcelona now out of the competition, that means that he could make that prize his very own as the leading scorer by the end of today, or maybe even by the end of tomorrow. Who knows? We'll certainly see. But you mentioned Mujahid, and I think it's interesting in the sense that he's really been the one who's been leading the way, who's been carving out that path, who has been basically single-handedly dragging his teammates through the promised land into the quarterfinals. But he really needs his teammates now to step up, whether it's going to be game 2 and game 3. But he really needs them to help pick up some of the slack. And that's something they haven't really done too well over the last couple of weekends. So what do you think might happen from the Turks in the next game? Because it'll be very interesting to see how they react to having lost this game 1.
It will. It will be interesting to see who they choose to field, because as you've mentioned, as we've mentioned in the commentary, so many titles and experience, so much experience from the Monaco side, from their remaining 2 players they have to field. Guifera, 2-time world champion, Uzmakabil, 3-time world champion. So you'd have to say it's looking tough here for Galatasaray. What is piquing my interest is the top scorers table, which I'm trying to do the math in my head, and I'm pretty sure now that the Palmer is out, he's still the top goal scorer with 12. But as you said, Nexa now with those with that goal and those 2 goals, I should say, against Mujahid that we just saw, is now only 1 behind him, and the Palmer has been knocked out. So it's looking likely that Monaco will be alive in this competition unless Galatasaray can pull something out the bag. It may well be a straight shootout between Nexa and Mestre of Bayern München for the Golden Boot award this season. Could be a fun one to keep an eye on there, Wes.
Yeah, and that's you know, again, we talk about kind of you know, the lines and the kind of almost the narratives that we see kind of just forming ever so slightly. After each result, we see something completely different, and we see something that we didn't anticipate previously. Nexa now pulls, as we said, was in that little bit of a slipstream, has now started to creep up the table. But as for results purposes, that's what he's probably going to be most focused on. It's not necessarily how many goals I score, it's what results am I getting? And that's going to be the key thing that he'll be looking at. And like we said in commentary, his 2 teammates, you don't need to give those guys any more confidence than they already have. We know Uzmakabil has got a bravado and a borderline arrogance, but it's been, you know, it's arrogance, but he can certainly back it up. Guifera doesn't need any more impetus to have a performance come out of him, because, again, he's flattered to deceive sometimes in this competition. He's still got to bring his A game. But again, if you're looking at Galatasaray side of things, you've got Kepa, who, again, you know, Euro champion, reigning, and we talked about their previous matchday results. They only really turned up against a poor Arsenal side. So it depends on what A game turns up here, and it depends on whether Galatasaray can really put the rubber to the road.
All right, well, let's find out then if Galatasaray can do just that and see who's going to be featuring in Game 2 in this clash between Monaco and the Turkish outfit there. And it's going to be the captain of the French team, Uzmakabil, someone who I think it's fair to say really hasn't had the best tournament so far in terms of what we expect from him, even though he's had a pretty even spread of results, a win, a draw, and a loss. But he's only managed 4 goals in 3 games, so quite low scoring from him there. Someone of his caliber and pedigree. But whenever it comes to Kepa, you already talked about it as well. Someone I think we expected a lot more of. We've had high hopes for, but it hasn't really gone according to plan for him. 2 defeats and 1 victory, I think it is, as well, and just scoring 1 more than his opponent. So going into this one, it's a great opportunity for both of these so-called sleeping giants to kind of come to life and really be the one to kind of save the day for their teams. In the case of Monaco, this could be it, take them into the semi-finals, or in the case of Kepa, keep them alive in this quarterfinal tie.
Yeah, I like that analogy of them being sleeping giants, because as Wes said, a Euro champion on the side of Kepa, he needs a result at this point as Monaco lead the series 1-0. But then on the side of Monaco, Uzmakabil, as you said, has taken so long to get going. We're so used to him in seasons previous be that guy for AS Monaco, but this season, I don't know. It's almost like the ghost of Uzmakabil at this point. He needs to turn up now for his team, and it's happened in seasons previous as well, where he's had a bit of a slow start, but then he eventually gets going. I think if Monaco want to have serious aspirations of the title, Wes, Uzmakabil needs to start firing, and that's not even talking about Guifera at this point. It's the 3-time world champion up next.
Be careful what you wish for, Harry. That's all I will say. If there is a game where both of these players are going to catch fire, this is the game. This is it. This is, as we said, make or break for Galatasaray. If it's Monaco, you're going to get yourself through to the semi-final. Again, these pressure environments, these guys are made for these types of environments. They live for this type of pressure. They live for this type of responsibility. You know, we've seen it for club, we've seen it for country. These guys thrive in these environments, and no more so than the 2 of these guys. You know, you look at Uzmakabil, 3-time world champion, as we've said. You know, we could talk for forever on his capabilities within this game. And the same can be said for Galatasaray in terms of Kepa's performances over seasons past, over tournaments past. he has the ability. He has the ability to get it done on the key moments. So it's just going to be who executes. Who executes the better of the two here.
Well, it's Uzmakabil starting off very strongly indeed. Ben Yedder, it's only taken him 4 minutes. You said, be careful what you wish for. I think Uzmakabil must have been listening, because it's just taken 4 in-game minutes for the man in the middle of your screen to open up scoring here. Great patient play, and it's tucked away for 1-0.
Doubt the man at your peril, folks. Both commentary, if you're a fan, if you are any type of viewer, doubt him at your absolute peril. In the moments where it absolutely counts, he's very nonplussed. He's like, yeah, this is fine. This is just the quarterfinal. I've just scored. It's fine. Like, you don't ever doubt him. But again, very early in the game, you know, we've seen it in real world football. We've seen it in eFootball as well. If you score early on, it's a lot of time you've got to go before you get to the end of the game. But
oh, he's trying to get in once again with Boadu. Not even a chance to say thank you to Semra and our crew in the studio. And as Uzmakabil's opened the scoring, you can see game 1's result at the top of your screen. This one will be a free kick though to Kepa, and watch out here because Kepa's done this a few times, taken a free kick very quickly, opting for a bit of a slower approach this time around. Going for the low free kick. It's bounced back to one of his players here. Marapan in the box is just hassling. In fact, I think that was a Galatasaray player that almost got the final strike away, but Monaco, they survived the free kick.
yeah, you could just see it was, if you are Uzmakabil, you were probably one button press away from conceding a penalty. It was only because it wasn't a challenge. Did the game or the referee necessarily not register the fact that there was a little bit of a shove in the back? But again, you know, you can see there's dangers there for Galatasaray. There's dangers there for the fans to potentially hold on to here. But if you're Monaco, there's plenty of signs of a counter-attack that will be on here, because again, longer this game goes on, the easier it's going to open up, because Monaco will keep driving forward.
Here is Ben Yedder. Definitely one of Uzmakabil's favourite players over his time at AS Monaco. Speaking to him seasons past, Ben Yedder is always a player that he enjoys taking a hold of. No doubt that will be exhibited here once again. But now the attention turns to Kepa with Galatasaray. All on the edge of the box, and it'll be another free kick here in a dangerous position. Badiashile is the guilty party, and I wonder, will there be a quick one this time around?
Well, I think looking at it, it's probably a little bit of gamesmanship from Kepa here, trying to maybe do a low finish, as what we saw with the lack of a power bar.
Oh, it's a pass this time to Sikaldu. He's gone down in the box, and the referee has given a penalty. A penalty then to Galatasaray will now give Kepa the opportunity to equalise. Kepa versus Uzmakabil. Straight down the middle. And successfully so. There were plenty of fouls in and around the box from Uzmakabil, and Kepa makes him pay. 20 minutes gone, it's one apiece.
Yeah, you can see it was the secondary teammate call that caused that penalty to be given in the first place. Thundered into the defender, or thundered into the forward, should I say? And again, to keep your nerve and put it down in the middle against Uzmakabil in the quarterfinal of the eFootball Championship Pro takes some bottle. And again, Kepa is full of confidence. He will look to now try and build on this. But if you're Uzmakabil, it's not necessarily the end of the world, because you know that you can break this team down.
Ben Yedder trying to feed Boadu, and that is a golden opportunity to reinstate the lead almost immediately. Lovely lofted pass.
Yeah, it was just the keeper just threw himself at it. I think he tackled it with his chest almost, but it's a corner. And as we know from games past with Usmaka Beal, he has a way with corners.
Boadu is waiting, and it will be another corner. Almost on command. Representing the Monegasque club for what I believe is a 4th season now. Could be even longer than that. These two almost synonymous with each other. You have to give credit to Kepa. His team needs him most here. Already down in the series, 1-0. He has to win this game to keep Turkish chances alive here in the eFootball Championship Pro this season. And there's a strike! Almost to take the lead. This one came almost out of nowhere. Wes, I think, took everyone by surprise that he took this one on first time.
Yeah, I think given the situation, you have to try and take these chances wherever possible, and it will only just whistle past the post. So again, the longer this kind of goes on, the longer the chances keep coming for Kepa, the happier he'll be, because he'll be like, oh, okay, these chances are still coming. It means I'm not out of this. It is only 1-1, but again, it'll just feed both teams. If they can keep generating the chances, that's fine, because you'll know that the chances will come. It's only if those chances start to dry up will you then start to maybe worry about conversion rates of chances.
Gomes is trying to get in behind through the middle, but goalkeeper comes. 10 minutes to go until half-time here in game 2, and there's Usmaka Beal with his purple power bar indicating a stunning strike attempt. He'll get himself a corner here. He's dangerous from these ways.
Yeah, he is, but not that I'd like to tell him, but Kevin Volland was just peeling off on the right-hand side there. I think that might have been the potential source of frustration, where he'd realised after the shot had kind of been queued up that there was a man just free.
Corner then headed away. And well, the referee's brought this one back for a foul on a Galatasaray man. He's Volland into the book. We've seen one sending off already today in the Bayern game. Of course, Joshua Kimmich with his second yellow. I think Monaco fans will be hoping that Volland doesn't follow that same trend. Here as we're 5 minutes away from half-time. Kepa now coming forward. Artikoglu. Van Aanholt's up here, stunning cross in. And it's into the back of the net. Galatasaray take the lead here. Just before half-time, it's Gomes. It's Kepa, it's 2-1.
Yeah, and like we said, those chances are going to keep coming for Kepa. It's going to grow in confidence, and not more so than what we've seen here. I think it was a header in from Gomes. I just want to see the replay again on this. It was a good out ball to find it to, I think it was Artikoglu, gets it back onto the left-hand side. Then it's Patrick Van Aanholt into the box. And it's a neat little header from Bafétimbi Gomes. We know he's aerially proficient in terms of where he is. You can see he's got his hand up in the air. Just gets across the front of, I believe that was Badi Ashile. Bafétimbi Gomes makes it 2-1. You can see the frustration with Usmaka Beal. But as we've seen before, plays his best eFootball when he's angry.
And he does. Ben Yedder looking for Boadu. An angry Usmaka Beal is a dangerous one. The knockout stages have sprung into life. 4 goals in this first half. And do not adjust your screens. It is Monaco 2, Galatasaray 2 now. Well worked goal indeed by the three-time world champion.
The defence rests their case, Your Honour. Literally, no sooner have I said an angry as Maccabeal plays his best eFootball, we see a very, very well-worked goal. We spoke about the Palmer's goal that we saw given as a kind of a goal of the day or a goal of the match day. You saw the ball movement that's triggering runs and getting players into position. No more so there. Baldu made that run, and Maccabeal picked him out with absolute aplomb.
There will be 3 minutes added time.
Surely no more chances in this first half. I mean, 4 goals. At this point, I think as Maccabeal is listening to me, as Ben Yedder is coming forward here. He wants this lead to take into half-time. Fofana. Golovin is there, and he's gone down, and the referee has given another penalty. Clear contact in the box. And it's Ben Yedder to step up, and it is into the back of the net. Almost heroics from Muslera, but Maccabeal back in front. 5 goals in the first half, Wes.
Well, it's the commentator's curse, wasn't it, Harry? You were like, well, surely we've not got more chances before half-time. And again, we talk about the penalty award there. It's smart movement from us, Maccabeal. Has the ball out wide, recycles it, gets it into a dangerous area. I believe it was Golovin that was brought down. It's, again, just leaving a leg out, gets himself brought down. And again, to stick away the penalty, we spoke about penalties during the last broadcast, where we spoke about if players hit them with full power, there is a margin for error with goalkeepers that if they just get a fingertip to it, it won't matter and it will go flying in. We saw it with Muslera there. Gets a slight hand to it, but not enough to keep it out. And again, that's the advantage of putting your penalties in the corner. And again, there's Maccabeal on the charge once more.
Don't get many chances against Uz Maccabeal. And it will be a worry in Kepa's mind that he trails once more. We kick off the second half of game 2, a game in which Galatasaray need to win. Kepa coming forward once more. And there's a chance to get a strike away through the forest of bodies, and I think it's been taken behind for a goal kick, and it has. Kepa just reminding us that there is still life in this Galatasaray side.
Yeah, and there's always a very clear and present danger with Galatasaray, the fact that they can keep these types of chances coming. And as we said in the first half, so long as those chances keep appearing, that will be the source of confidence that Kepa will have, is at least we're still having the opportunities. But the more they keep giving this ball back to this Monaco side, especially in the hands of us Maccabeal, the more danger is going to be coming back from on their defensive side of the ball. So they've got to be really careful here.
Otikoglu looking for Van Aanholt on that far side. Stunning cross last time was enough. We'll see it once more here again. This time dealt with, but you can't afford too much more room over on that far side.
The attendance for this match was 71,550.
We've crossed the hour mark now. Monaco 3, Galatasaray 2. If you're just joining us, this is a best of 3, as all the knockout stage matches will be. Oh, Boadu in here. Goes for goal himself. Not sure that was the wisest option. Kepa very lucky not to get a red card with some of his challenges there, but it's Maccabeal starting to grow in confidence now. As Muslera comes and makes the ball his own. Time for changes, do you think, maybe soon here? Whereas for Galatasaray, as they trail, entering the, final 25?
I think so. I think we're entering that kind of period of time where it's you know, substitutes are of a premium almost, in the sense of, you know, you'll need fresh legs on. It's telling to see the type of tactic that Monaco are employing here from Usmaka Beal, in the sense of it's got to this type of stage of the game, and all of a sudden now it's starting to go more longer passes, and it's trying to essentially, if the ball goes into the hands of Galatasaray, it's players that are low in ball control stat, it's players who are tired. He's maybe looking for more errors to maybe just pick up on. But again, got to be careful with your own side of things here and keep your team as fresh as possible. You can see just underneath Usmaka Beal, you can see that his midfield are very much tired at the moment.
Ben Yedder. Golovin, lovely turn inside, great ball control, and you have to be careful inside the box with challenges such as those. A couple of good ones, though, will allow Galatasaray possession. But we have to see something promising from the Turkish club here, because we have little time left, and as Usmaka Beal is coming forward, ball needs to be cleared. I think Usmaka Beal here just recognising the situation. 10 in-game minutes to go. And if it stays the same, Monaco would advance to the semi-finals, winning 2 games to 0. Golovin trying to make that certain here. Has beaten his man as well. Can he go for goal himself? He can. Is Ben Yedder there? Not this time. So many gaps at the back now. Abouadou gets his strike away. Second ball to come from Volland. And it's in. Monaco now. 1 foot in the semi-finals. Thanks to Usmaka Beal. He strikes 4. And Galatasaray, I think they're being sent home here.
Number 31.
Yeah, it's looking that way. It's looking that way. I mean, again, we saw chances coming at a premium for Usmaka Beal. It was almost inevitable that he was going to find a way through. Again, we saw the chance previously where he had it on the angle with Golovin. Looked like he was potentially looking to gamble on a save that was going to parry into a path of an on-running attacker. Instead, finds the dummy this time, finds the opportunity and finds the goal. And as we saw, it seems to be a running trend with players from the French side of things. They seem to just be very angry when they score. I don't know whether that's a passion thing or it might just be something where he's just outlaying a bit of emotion, because these are tense situations for these players.
Substitution for Monaco.
Now, I would hate to put words in Usmaka Beal's mouth because I don't speak French, but something tells me he was saying something along the lines of, "Did you forget about me?"
Coming on the field.
Has won this competition in the past, has won multiple world titles. And he is coming to the boil at the perfect time for his Monaco side as he comes forward once more here with Ben Yedder. Oh, and look, Diatta is waiting for the delivery.
There will be 1 minute at a time.
Bagouli's pass will go agonisingly out of play here for Kepa. For Galatasaray, they've had a great season. But something tells me their journey is coming to an end very shortly. For now, though, we'll see if they can have one final hurrah as they come forward across the box. Cleared by Usmaka Beal, and that makes it official. Monaco 4, Galatasaray 2 in game 2 is enough to